If you love cooking on a pellet grill and have ever thought, man, I really wish I had 10 times the cooking space, then you're gonna love today's video. We're showing you our first experiences with the Lone Star Grillz cabinet pellet smoker, and this thing is huge. I'm David Gafford, and here at the Barbecue Lab, we test over 70 different cooking appliances per year to help you make educated decisions on which ones to put in your backyard. In this video, we're gonna walk you through our first impressions since we've had this cooker on site, show you our first major cook that we've done with it, and help you decide if this much capacity is right for what you're looking for. I can't really cover first impressions without showing you the delivery process, and it was harrowing. It's always nerve-wracking watching a liftgate delivery, and this grill didn't disappoint. Nothing like a little rocking off the back to keep you on the edge of your seat. Lone Star created this grill extremely well. It didn't move in transit, and we didn't have any dents, dings, or anything else out of place through shipping. Let's start with a walk around of this cooker. There are 4 shelves inside the cooking chamber, and they measure 24 inches deep and 38 inches wide. Each shelf can pull out 3/4 of the way and still have stability where you can load and unload your proteins. The deflector plate in the bottom of the cooking chamber has a slotted grilling option with a cover. Just slide the cover over to grill and put it back for low and slow smoking. There are 2 removable sausage hanging rods at the top, which I really look forward to trying out. The internal thermometer is located right on the other side of the pellet hopper, just underneath the second shelf. I like that it's out of the way and won't get into my proteins during a cook. You'll find a branded Tell True analog thermometer on the front of the door, and we upgraded our pellet hopper with a stainless steel logo plate, which the kids think is the coolest thing. It has a fireboard controller to manage the fire with 6 meat or ambient probe ports, which on a smoker this size you can definitely use. The hopper holds 40 pounds of pellets, so overnight cooking is easily achieved without worrying about fuel. There's a pellet dump on the back of the hopper when you want to change pellet flavor. And did I mention that we ordered the off-road package? I haven't worked with a cooler looking smoker here at the Barbecue Lab, and I don't have any problem wheeling this 800-pound monster from the garage through the grass and onto the back patio. This thing is way easier to move than almost every other grill that we've reviewed in 4+ years, and it weighs 4 times more than other units. Hey, if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe for other content just like this. Before we fired up the grill for our first cook, we wanted to check the capacity, so let's take a look and see how much you can fit on this grill. So, as you can see, I've got the boys here tonight. We're gonna go ahead and try as many butts as we can in as many configurations as we can on this grill. But I gotta tell you, these are some hefty pork butts. These are not the kind you get at the standard grocery store. I got these at a restaurant supply store, so they're pretty hefty. Let's see how many we can fit. This is a little bit of a Jenga puzzle.
I don't know. You can configure it every which way you want. You're not getting better than that.
I don't think so either. We have 12 butts on this rack, and they are very much up against each other. I'm a little concerned about airflow because if you look between here, there's no space between these two. There's no space between these. I mean, there's not a whole lot of room for smoke and hot air to be able to escape this. So this is probably the maximum that I'd be willing to put on here, and I'm even a little worried about whether this is going to allow enough heat and smoke to go through. So this is just a capacity test. The issue that I would have here is that it's not about just this shelf. It's about the shelf above it and the shelf above that. If you have 12 butts per shelf packed this tightly, I think we're going to have airflow issues. So tonight we're going to run this a little bit differently, and we're going to put each one of these butts in a half hotel pan because honestly, I don't want to completely mess up this grill as we're continuing to review it, and we're going to let the juices stay in the pans. So that's what we're doing tonight, but we got a whole bunch of butts to put on this grill. Let's run this test. I had the guys help me prep all 22 pork butts by removing the fat cap, scoring the top in a diamond pattern to get a little more surface area for the barbecue rub, and then we used a mustard binder and our barbecue rub that we've been developing here at the Barbecue Lab to cover all 4 sides. He's really massaging the cracks of that butt, man.
Oh, man, right in the crack. Oh, dang it.
We have the butts in the pan, seasoned up, ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and load about 6 per shelf, starting with the first out of this batch. And these guys have been an incredible help. So thankful that they're here to help us with this one. But let's load this grill up. So we have 22 pork butts on here in half hotel pans. We're gonna go ahead and shut this down for the night, and we will check back in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. when it's time to wrap these. It's time for the question of the day. And when you think about it, really this cabinet smoker is first and foremost about capacity. My question for you is, could you use this much capacity in your everyday barbecue cooking life? And if you had this beauty in the backyard, what would you use it for? Let me know down in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. The next morning, here's how our pork looked after more than 10 hours in the smoke. I'm really happy with the color on this pork, so after putting a piece of foil over each pan and keeping an eye on internal temperatures, the guys came back over to help me pull the pork for our upcoming church event for 300 teens. The saying, many hands make light work, certainly rang true when pulling 22 pork butts, and the event was a complete and total success. There is a ton more testing to do on this smoker before we publish an official review here on the channel, but help us decide what tests to run by leaving comments down below. This video is really just a first look, so help us put this cooker to the test and help you decide if this is the right one to put in your barbecue arsenal. I'm David, and behind the camera is my beautiful wife, Melissa. We're the Barbecue Lab, and we can't wait to see you on the next one.